Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome back.
Yeah, here we are.
It's been a little while where Casey had to go take vacation, and I really didn't want to do the show without him because we got some big things to talk about in this episode.
And a couple of things just kind of happened today, too, so good thing that we
Absolutely.
waited one more day.
Yes, one more day. Just a quick summary. We've got a lot of news, a lot of stuff that happened today, a lot of stuff that's happened last couple of weeks as we get ready for a ton of stuff as far as Disney Plus. Of course, Mandalorian on Disney Plus. You've got Jedi Fallen Order coming out, Rise of the Skywalker coming. I'm actually heading to Galaxy's Edge next week.
That's insane. Shipping off. Taking a transport to Batu.
That's right. I am going to Batu. So, in fact, I'm going this weekend. I can't say next week. I'll get into all that here. I'll get into all that here. So let's dive right in. And I do want to. I had it kind of on my notes that we were going to talk right into Rise of Skywalker, but I do want to. I do want to just kick off into first what you sent me actually today, which is the Bob Iger.
Yeah, new
article.
book. Well, it's an article.
Well, it's a book
from a section from his book. Some sources have been doing articles on it. Bob Iger has a biography or memoir, more memoir, called "The Ride of a Lifetime: Lessons Learned from 15 Years as CEO of the Walt Disney Company." I didn't even know this was coming out.
Me neither.
This just came out yesterday. Today's we're recording this on the 24th. This came out on the 23rd. So it was about for a day, and someone's already kind of combed through it for the good Star Wars nuggets because he talks about. I want to read this just because I'm very interested in his career because it talks about just his as it says, his whole 15 years as CEO of Disney. So it talks about the merger, the buyout of Lucasfilm. And having George Lucas as an advisor on the first movie and his reaction to it, which is very interesting and kind of sad.
Yeah. So it goes on to explain that he was unhappy that they didn't take his notes and go the direction.
Yeah, if everybody remembers when it was coming out, there was always stories of George's outlines.
Yes.
And Michael Art had a lot of it based off his outlines. And then they brought in Kasdan and had him and J.J. Abrams rewrite the whole thing pretty much and took it in a completely different direction. I can't remember quite what that original outline was. I think it was focused more on the original characters and their kid and like Luke's kids maybe or something like that. Or
maybe.
The whole hand flying and floating in space with the lightsaber kind of thing. So that was it. He was upset that they didn't do that. Yeah,
and it pointed out that George basically mainly talked about that when he watched The Force Awakens finally, that it didn't introduce something new. It didn't really further the story.
It didn't expand anything.
It didn't expand anything. Which is a lot of the argument that it did get. I mean, granted, The Force Awakens was well received and made a ton of money, but people that did knock it we're talking about those specific things that it was almost like a New Hope updated recreation, and not it did introduce new characters.
Well, I mean that's the thing. It's Bob Iger. He's very open about it too, which is I love that Bob Iger acknowledges like yes, George's complaints are valid. It didn't do the things that he wanted to do,
right?
But we did that on purpose.
Yeah. It's not like they went against it. Exactly.
They very much made it a safe movie to ease everybody back into Star Wars without having another prequel situation on our hands. And, but we got Maz Kanata, we got new planets, we got all new planets. Every planet in there is new. I think every single planet was new. And then very familiar stuff and some very new stuff, but the story beats, the character types, the moments is similar. It was pretty similar. I mean,
I agree. So, and I love George Lucas, And I just, part of me feels like, yes, I wish I would. I'm curious to know what his actual, outlines were for 7, 8, 9. But then, as part of me was like, well, dang it, you should have made them then if you really wanted to do them.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then I've read another thing. I can't remember where it came from, but I think it's actually an older book talking about how it was George's intention that there was a different person directing the original films.
Yes.
Like he did the first one. Obviously, different people did direct the first 3 movies that were made. But that was the intention, like to have other creatives put their stamp on it and have a different style for each movie.
Which is what he should have done in the prequels.
Exactly. So things just got lost there. He kind of overcorrected with the prequels. But he did what he wanted to do, which was expand the story exponentially. He did exactly that. So it's just so interesting that he was unhappy with Force Awakens, and Bob Iger was almost apologetic in his memoir, saying like, I could have handled it better. I should have warned him or prepared him more that it was different before bringing him in all of a sudden to J.J. Abrams and be like, all right, this is all different. Go watch it. They didn't really warn him or prepare him for that. But it's just interesting to think like, I want to know what he thinks of Last Jedi.
Yes. Because
that is, I would, according to this, that seems like Last Jedi is more in line with what George Lucas would have wanted. Something that just pushes
the story
into new areas.
Yes, agreed.
So it's very intriguing.
And a complete side note, like I do want to, fully watch The Last Jedi a couple more times, and we talked about we are going to do a commentary on it before Rise of Skywalker comes out. But I actually was watching a couple scenes tonight before you came over. Mainly the throne room scene with Snoke and Rey, and I mean, and some Luke. I mean, look, there's some good stuff in that. There's some good stuff in that movie.
Yes.
Overall, it's going to take a little bit to put it up for me, but there is some good stuff in there, and I agree with you. I think George actually, again, I don't know if he's seen it, but I feel like he would appreciate the direction of that movie more so than The Force Awakens.
I have a feeling he would like the space race because it's kind of reminiscent of an old like submarine movie. Yeah, where it's just like a slow pace, like Hunt for Red October kind of
that's
thing.
True.
It's just,
that's true.
But Last Jedi, I'm sure I've said it on here many times, but I mean, I love all the Rey and Luke stuff. The Thor and the lightsaber thing, I get all the arguments about it, but I look past it pretty quickly. But I love all the Luke and Rey stuff. I love all the Kylo stuff, Kylo and Rey. I love all the Snoke stuff. So and Leia. I love all the Leia stuff. Yeah. So it's like, that's a lot of the movie. So,
and I'll say again, like the scene where I watched again the scene where just Luke's in his hut and Rey's banging on the door and he's like, "Go away!" And Chewie comes busting in. I really looked at that scene again, and I looked at his face, and when he says, the Falcon, and then he realizes that Han's not there, and he says, "Where's Han?" Like his face. Now that I look at it, I'm like, you know what? The face he gave right there, and the way he said it, it basically felt like, okay, once he gets told that Kylo killed Han, I felt like he would be like, all right, I'm in. I'm getting on this Falcon.
It's gone too far.
Yeah, Ben killed his father.
Yeah.
This is gone. Yeah.
His best friend.
The way he said that on there, I just thought of that when I watched it tonight. I'm like, wow, right then, because he's asking where he is. He understands that something has happened. But when he finds out Ben killed him, how could he not be? I don't know. So, again, there's a couple. Look, Ryan's direction, how he wanted to go is how he wanted to do it. But that's the way he did it there. That felt like that's what he wanted. He should have kind of turned at that point. But anyway, we got what we got. So, but interesting books out there. What's it called again? The book?
It's got a long subtitle. The Ride of a Lifetime, Lessons Learned from 15 Years as CEO of the Walt Disney Company. You can get it on Amazon. Hardcover, $28.58. That's on sale. Yeah. Kindle's $15.
I mean, look, I know you've got you got big companies like Apple and Amazon and Google, and you got Facebook, obviously all the CEOs, but I mean the CEO of Disney and where that company has gone in the last 15 years.
Oh my gosh, it's grown so much.
It's incredible with those acquisitions. I mean, just the Marvel Cinematic Universe alone, Pixar, what they've built and where Star Wars is going. I mean, we're only in, you think about it, it's been 7 years since the buyout. But it's only not even been 4 years since the movies started being released. 2015 was the first one. So, but just imagine, really since A New Dawn book dropped in 2014, I think it was, just all the content that we've gotten in the last 5 years, it's like incredible.
I mean, Disney Plus to me is almost like the pinnacle.
That's his legacy.
What Disney's doing. It's I don't know how much cool, unless they just keep buying more companies. I don't know what else they can do. I mean, I am so excited for Disney Plus, and it's going to have everything.
Yeah.
The only thing that could rival that would be the Warner Brothers platform, So it's like, it's everything. My whole life will be on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
my whole childhood is there.
Well, and then just the acquisition of Fox just expanded like crazy.
Exactly. So
because you think about Apple just announced their streaming service.
Yeah, well, they got a lot more room to grow there.
Oh my gosh! But that's the thing is what I'm saying is all these other ones, they're trying to. Even Amazon and now Apple and Netflix, they've all had to start looking at creating their own content because the content they were housing are now going back to the original studios, right? They're pulling their stuff off of those streaming platforms, and creating their own. So. Netflix started, I think, a couple of years ago when they said we're investing billions of dollars in creating content. Now they're creating their own shows, but the question will be is that enough? Is that enough to keep you subscribed to Netflix for original stuff? Because in the end, this is a whole nother topic, but it's like if you want this original show from Netflix and you want this original show from Disney Plus, if you want this original show from Amazon, it's like. In the end, you're going to be paying way more than you would for just cable.
Yeah.
I mean, you will be.
It does help that Disney now basically has Hulu as well.
I know, right?
Bundling that together,
with ESPN, yeah.
I mean, you're definitely saving money doing that. So but I mean, it's great because Hulu, Amazon, and Netflix, I feel like they've gotten a good head start on original content because they've already got some properties pretty well established.
They do.
That are original. But I mean,
because Apple's coming out with original stuff.
Yep.
Disney, of course, Disney Plus is, but but Disney Plus, that's the thing. The original, I don't think originals will get some people there, but it's all the older stuff, and it's the Fox library that's going to really capture that.
I mean, the vault alone. Is opening and staying open. Oh my gosh,
it's incredible.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, speaking of Disney Plus, you can pre-order now.
Yeah.
By going to their website, or you can go to StarWars.com. They've got a link right there at the top of that you can subscribe. Be the first to subscribe. Now,
the Founders Circle, I think is what they're calling it.
Well, that's over.
Oh yeah.
That was when D23 ended.
Okay.
It was only for that first.
It was a cheaper price, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a 3-year sign up.
Yeah.
I did it. So I got it for 3 years, but it was basically ended up being buy 2 years, get one free, basically.
I saw they brought that back for a few days. But anyways,
oh, really? Well, right now.
I did the free trial, free 7-day trial, and then the subscription kicks in, is one I just got the other day.
So right now they have it listed that you can sign up now for $6.99 a month or $69.99 for the year. Yeah. So the yearly gets you some discount there. But everything starts November 12th. There's a countdown on DisneyPlus.com. 48 days right now, 8 hours. It's kind of strange that it's a Tuesday that it's launching, but November 12th, Tuesday, you'll be able to watch the first episode of Mandalorian as well as all the other stuff. I will say what's pretty neat is that because I guess in a couple other countries right now in Europe, you can actually sign in.
The Netherlands.
Yeah, the Netherlands. Is that where it is?
I don't know if there's any other countries besides the Netherlands, but
I thought the UK. No. I thought I saw some tweets from
maybe.
people from the UK.
Well, people have found loopholes
Oh.
to get into it. I found I'm not going to do it because it requires too many crazy steps, but people have kind of found the way into it. But
Yeah.
yeah, the Netherlands, it's
but
it's-
they're
you can do it
beta
now.
versions
It's a beta,
basically.
yeah.
And you can view the current library, just you can't see anything new. So they're not watching The Mandalorian, but they
Right.
can watch like the other Star Wars movies that
Yeah.
are on the catalog.
Yeah, Reddit, and people keep asking people, asking people who have it, like, oh, is this on there? Is this on there? Yeah, so it's pretty interesting to see. I mean, it's everything, man. It's like so many
Yeah.
things. It's crazy.
Well, what I was going to say was that they did update the artwork for all the movies, the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
And they did kind of transition to the current logo format of Force Awakens and Last Jedi.
Yeah. Just all the films, not just the saga.
That's what I'm
films.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not all the film. I mean, the logo, the Rogue One and Solo were still the same
okay.
logos,
I didn't pay attention.
but the saga films all look like the current scheme.
Gotcha.
As opposed to the timeline that like the timeline that they put out that I kind of recreated was they were using like the old format of the movies.
Yeah.
But in the re-release of these artwork, they changed it to the current format where the title is in between Star and Wars.
Right.
But the color scheme, you can see they got the color scheme for each movie.
Yep.
Like there's like purplish for A New Hope and bluish for like Empire and stuff like that. So
very cool.
it's really neat. It's uniform, obviously.
Yeah.
So there's that. That's again, that's coming November 12th. Sign up there you can pre-order that. If you've gone to StarWars.com, also there's a really cool sneak peek that video that they put out for Force Friday coming.
Yep.
Did you see that?
I did. I was so confused because I thought it already happened, but I guess they already recorded it.
Yeah.
they already did it, but
They just haven't released it.
They're live streaming it online, but it's not actually a live program.
I think you're right. I think there's some pre-recorded stuff, obviously, with some of those stars that they had opening up some products, but it's called Triple Force because it's products from all three properties that are coming out: The Mandalorian, Jedi Fallen Order, and The Rise of Skywalker. So October 4th, which is again the Friday. I'm in Disney on October 4th still.
It's huge.
And I'm going. I got my. I actually got my reservation for the Droid Depot that day.
Okay.
That morning. So I'm wondering how much that stuff's going to be on the park at the park. So I might have to. I don't know. I might have to spend a lot of money that day. But
The luggage.
yeah. We do have some room that we're gonna because I'm building my lightsaber too.
Yeah. I hope you can take it.
You can detach the
still,
blade.
it's like
yeah, I know.
only
I
three
don't
and a
know
half
if it'll-
feet,
Yeah, I don't
3
know if
feet.
it'll fit in my suitcase or not. But yeah, that's happening. So Force Friday coming October 4th. All kinds of new merchandise. Okay, so
a new trailer too for Fallen Order will be coming out that day.
that day. Wow,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, that's-
okay.
yeah.
Sweet. I didn't actually know that. Speaking of trailer, rumors of Rise of Skywalker trailer are starting to seep in, and of course, October has been the month that a trailer usually drops, as well as followed by the opening of pre-release tickets. So the anticipation, the rumor, obviously, is a Monday Night Football thing again.
All right.
I do anticipate it becoming like mid-October. I'm eyeing. I was thinking. I was looking at the schedule. I was thinking it was like not the Monday after I get back, but the following Monday, which it would be the 5th, 6th, 7th, which would be the 14th, October 14th. I think that's kind of the prime location. Now, the running time there that has apparently been leaked is that this trailer is only 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
That's good.
Which is about 16 seconds shorter than the previous 2 trailers of Force Awakens and Last Jedi. So, you think there's some strategy there with a shortened trailer?
Well, I mean, you got to think to the previous one. Half of it was old footage. But I mean, that's pretty good for me. I mean, I think that's a decent length. I'm happy with. I'm fine with that.
I know. I am too. I
don't think it needs
look.
to be
I think the more they're hiding, the better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't want to.
I mean, gosh,
I don't want to know plots really or anything like that. I hope they don't.
Yeah, I got a quick backstory. Like, The Dark Knight was the first movie where I started to get really hesitant about watching trailers because it started to not that it was showing spoilery moments. It was showing cool parts of the movie that I didn't want to see yet.
Yeah,
like it showed too many Joker scenes. I was like, oh, I want that cool moment to happen in the movie, like that cool line to be spoken when I first hear it in the movie. So yeah, I hope the same thing for Force Awakens or Rise of Skywalker. That I don't want to see any too many cool things. Agreed,
and that's why that's why it goes back to I don't think Dark Ray is a plot reveal, it's too big.
And they better not show Palpatine. I don't want to see Palpatine at all.
I don't want to see Luke. I don't want to see Palpatine. I don't want to see.
Should just not watch the trailer.
I'm kind of feeling that. Like, we have to though.
For the official, that official one. But anything after that, TV spots, I probably won't do.
Yeah, I'm done. No, I'm done. I've got to cut myself off of. Basically, once Disney Plus comes out, like I'm done.
You're too busy at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Just got to get to November 12th. And,
playing games, watching Mandalorian.
Yeah, because Fallen Order is November 15th. So we got plenty to do. Like I said, tickets will probably traditionally they've been going on sale right after that release because it's basically tagged at the end of that trailer where it says tickets on sale now. So for those of you, just be ready. The tickets will probably be open that day, and it's going to be a mad rush to get because those are going to go out fast.
Yes.
So let's talk briefly about cool clips.
Okay.
Because you just mentioned that. Okay, so this is different for us.
Yeah.
I want to preface this by saying that so we are possibly about to do exactly what we just talked about, where we are going to talk about we're going to spoil something. Again, this is look. We're 270 episodes into the show, right?
Yeah.
And look, I'll just preface this by saying we're not big leakers. We're not. We don't really hunt.
This might be the only time we do something like this.
Yes. It just so happens that Casey and I now have. I'll just flat out say it. We've seen footage.
Yeah.
From the Rise of Skywalker.
Not finished. Nothing finished.
This is raw footage from a set.
Right. Yes.
So it is real.
Yes.
And so we are going to talk about that right now. I literally I'm going to look at the timer now, and I'm going to tell everybody right now we're going to talk about this for just like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you want to skip and not know anything we're about to say, just skip 5 minutes, and I promise you'll miss it. Okay, so because I'm looking at 25 minutes. Okay, so we got about 5 minutes. So the footage that we saw, was from a set, an interior set, huge set. I mean, this thing was massive. Indoor.
Yeah, indoor. Yeah. Inside,
green screens, as well as what looked like. You can say what you said too, but it looked like the set of kind of the Death Star.
I'm going to try to pull up some images from the trailers, but
similar to what you see Rey and Kylo fighting on. In that last D23 look, right? With the water.
It looks like, from what I saw, very long, very big, like hangar type of big open studio. If you've ever seen big studios like that, behind the scenes footage.
Massive. Like 60,000 square feet. It was huge.
So from what I saw on the far left side was all green, wall, floor to ceiling green screen, wall to wall green screen, and then so it's like it looks like a long, I don't want to say trench because I didn't see a trench, but like it's a long piece of practical set.
But the far back was kind of that set too, so that's why it kind of looked like it was almost trench, and it had a big turret,
a big turret with two barrels
on it.
It was spinning. It was turning. And we're going into crazy detail here about this.
So
but like,
anyway, it's a big dolly shot that came across. Kind of looked like the camera was kind of coming across.
The camera was going one way, and the
actors
were going the opposite direction. So it's like it looks like it's going to be a cool shot.
Yeah, it looked like a typical J.J. Abrams shot. Where he's moving the camera a lot, and in the distance, bless you.
Excuse me.
So in the distance, on the left side, you see just a massive amount of cloaked figures.
I counted about like 10 or so, 10 to 12.
Okay,
like there was like 3 groupings,
about 20 or so, but yeah.
Well, from the footage is kind of a blurry. It was phone footage, so it's like whatever. So, about 4 or 5 people. And then 3 separate groups. So like 4 people went by, then like 2 people went by, then like another 4 or 5 people went by.
Yeah.
So it's
But they were shooting.
Yeah.
It looked like they were shooting. There was a lot of explosions going on and fireworks and stuff like that. And then to the right, the group that was combating them and firing back were basically a legion of Sith troopers.
Yeah. That was a lot.
Yeah. So that's what I started freaking out. I was like, what? Because I was always wondering, like, how much are we going to see of these guys?
Yeah.
Because that's like the first reveal that they did was the Sith trooper. They're in the movie. There's a ton of them.
Well, that was the thing. Is like this set piece, which looked like the Death Star in the shots you've seen from the trailer. Like it's not just doesn't look like it was just Rey and Kylo. Although I don't remember seeing Rey or Kylo in this clip. They could have been somewhere. I didn't see them, but they could have been somewhere in there. But it looks like it's just a massive battle. Yes, Rey and Kylo somewhere, and then you have the Sith troopers fighting the other side and these cloaked figures. Who knows who they are?
Yeah, who knows? I don't know who they are.
But that's the thing. It's like that's the takeaway. It's like there's these cloaked figures, which pretty sure aren't the creatures from Pasan. Because they have kind of like a robe look. These look more like a uniform, like black.
Yeah, because they were colored robes.
Yeah, different colors, like red and browns and stuff like that.
Didn't look like that.
Like this is, I mean, you could say they might be Dark Jedi affiliated or Dark Force users or something like that, perhaps, or acolytes or something. Maybe they're not Force users, but they're worshippers
or
Palpatine clones.
Or dare I say Rey clones?
Rey clones, Palpatine clones.
Yeah.
It's like, who knows?
They did all kind of look alike in a sense, like uniform, like you said.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately, we can't say that we saw definitely specific actors. Like, no. I don't recall that. So
this seemed like a big pickup shot.
It did.
It wasn't like it wasn't a tight shot at anybody. I don't think it was really just to show the big battle that's going on or something.
They were probably all stunt doubles.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, more than likely, JJ might not even been on set at that point. It could have been the second unit, all that stuff. So we don't know any of that. But look, first time, this is legit footage. So,
so I'm about to say, skip.
That's it.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Unless you got more to say about it.
I don't know. Let me think for a second. Do I have anything more to say about it?
Okay.
I guess probably not.
Yeah. So that was 5 minutes.
Yeah. Just about 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, the bottom line is we saw some footage of the Rise of Skywalker, and it's exciting. I mean, it's just
doesn't change my.
No.
I mean, doesn't change anything about it. Doesn't.
No, I don't think it was a plot.
No,
anything plot driven. I
kind of speculate a little bit more, but it was just thrilling.
It was. And I appreciate that.
Yeah,
we
were allowed.
Yeah, we were able to see that. And look, I hope it's known out there. Of course, I know Lucasfilm doesn't listen to us, but if Lucasfilm does, look, we take this by heart. So we're not gonna. I'm not going to release anything or show anything, and all this stuff, or even
if somehow we got a spoiler of the ending of the film, no. No way was I going to spoil that.
No way. In fact, I don't want to see anything like that anyway.
Yeah.
So, this was, in fact, I will say that, and you weren't there when this first got introduced to me, but like, it took me actually a few minutes to even say I was going to watch this.
Yeah,
because I was like, I don't know if I want to see this.
Yeah, because you don't know if what you're about to see is something crazy.
Well, what if it was like a clip of the ending of the movie?
Exactly.
I'm like, what? No way. So I was thankfully the person that was talking to me was
gamble.
like, well, said that look, it's not revealing that it's not revealing too much. So I took his word for it, and I was like, okay, let me. But it took me a while to actually say like, I'm going to see this. So,
I don't know, this is in relation, but like talking about spoilers, Daisy Ridley had a quote on, I guess some kind of red carpet thing. Maybe it was at the Emmys. I don't know. She kind of even said a couple lines. I'll tell you after the show because I don't want to say it here because it kind of is spoilers to the ending of the film. Not like a huge plot reveal, but it's in relation to the title.
Yeah.
But like, it's just be careful. I'm basically saying be careful out there, and we're not going to spoil things here on the show.
Yeah.
But so it's that time of year where you need to go dark probably on social media.
Yeah. No, I did read a couple things about some articles where they claim that they think they know how Palpatine comes back and what happens. And I don't know if I did read it, and I don't know if I buy it.
I've seen some clickbait stuff, definitely.
Yeah.
Stuff that
because that's a lot of stuff's out there,
and I see headlines or I quickly scan it, and then I pick up a couple words just by glancing at it that lingers with me, and I hate that, but it's still clickbait type stuff. I'm like, that will never happen.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah. Although I do gotta say that I think one of the things I did read that possibly how it ends and the whole Rise of Skywalker was something that we had already mentioned and talked about. So
yeah, there's so many theories.
But we'll get into that when we do our speculation stuff show later in the year. But that's So just again, look, there's a lot of people out there that actually love and don't mind it. In fact, I think Cody's one of those guys where
he's my filter because I'm more on Reddit now.
Yeah.
But Cody is all about Reddit. Not just Star Wars, like other things are Reddit too. But he has a line. He draws in the sand of what he should and shouldn't read.
Yeah.
But yeah, I use him a lot of times.
But for example,
can you take a look at this?
But for example, he got spoiled, and partially because he didn't see Solo right away, but he got spoiled about Darth Maul.
Yeah.
But everybody did if you didn't see it that weekend. I mean, if you people were releasing that like crazy. So
yeah.
Anyway, so going on to so if you're really intrigued about the clip, go back to like the 25-minute mark, and you can listen up again if you really want to see it or not see it, but listen to what we saw.
Watch it not be a cut shot for the movie.
It could be.
It could be.
Actually, it could be. I thought about that too.
Yeah.
I did think about that. Like when we watch the movie, like, where's that scene
that
we saw?
Dang it.
Fooled again.
Yeah.
So a little bit of news out the last couple weeks. Favreau, who is working on season 2 already of The Mandalorian, has said that he is going to direct season 2, some of the episodes of season 2. So sounds like he did not direct anything from season 1, which is a little surprising. But I guess he handed that off and just worried about writing.
He was busy.
Yeah. Oh man, he was finishing Lion King, and he's doing that chef show, right?
Exactly.
Is that that's a Netflix thing?
I think it is,
right?
and Filoni's on an episode.
Yeah, yeah. They're like tied at the hip now, man. Which is exciting because I'm just excited about Filoni. He directed the pilot, I think, right?
Yeah.
The first episode of Mandalorian.
Maybe in the first 2.
2, yeah.
Maybe.
So stoked about that. Okay, so moving on to kind of additional things here news-wise. Books. Let's get into some of the books. Now, Casey here, you're into which one? Crash of Fate?
Crash of Fate. I've got about 4 hours left, so I'm like halfway through, just about. I like it.
Yeah.
It's the young adult novel, and it definitely feels like Lost Stars.
Yeah.
It's a young teen, or not young teen, like 18, 19, but it's like a young love type of thing, and hasn't spanned too much time where I've been so far. It actually picks up. It seems like some days or weeks, or maybe I guess days or weeks after Force Awakens, because they reference Hosnian Prime.
Oh.
And they reference Maz Kanata's castle being destroyed. So I haven't quite pinpointed how much time after that has happened, because, as we know, it's like Last Jedi, the time span of Force Awakens and Last Jedi is days or a week or two. 2 weeks, maybe?
Yeah, it's a few days.
So I thought this book was going to pick up before all those movies, but it's like right
around that time.
At the same time, it's not right after those movies. But we'll see how far it goes. I think it butts up right up to Last Jedi, maybe. Or Rise of Skywalker, maybe. I can't remember. But
yeah, I think it looks like most of these Black Spire publications are during that year.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the middle of Black Spire right now.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I'm really enjoying the book, mainly because I'm going to Black Spire.
Yeah,
and it's incredibly details. Like, there's a whole chapter that just it's Vi Marati, which again, what's great about the book is, and I can't remember if I mentioned this on the show already, but Vi Marati is a character that is from Phasma. She is she's the rebel or the resistance soldier that's interrogated in there by Captain Cardinal, and Vi Marati is sent to Batuu to recruit by General Organa to recruit new resistance, because again, this is about 3 or 4 months after The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
So I'm really liking Vi. There's a lot of things that they're describing about Black Spire that I'm like, wow, I'm going to see that.
Yeah.
Like, she's describing the full Oga's Cantina. She's describing Savi's workshop. She's describing the mood and the look of the town. And it's like, man.
So if Vi's there in the park, so does that mean it kind of takes place, like the events, like I guess the event of Black Spire, which you're about to experience, that's the same time as this book. So it's kind of like you see her and you're like, is she trying to do this right now?
See,
is she
I'm going to ask her about stuff that's
so
in the
awesome.
book. So, like, I know what she's trying to do in the book right now. And I'm going to ask her,
hey, are you about to go here?
Yes.
Let's spoil it for you right now. Here's how it ends.
Let me just mention this, because I thought this was actually pretty crazy. Because I don't think they did this, but... So hopefully I'm not spoiling anything about the plot of the book. But during the book, so Oga is kind of the
that's known.
the Jabba.
That's public.
Yeah, well she's
crime lord.
She's like the crime lord of this area, right? Yeah. So she's not around too much. Like, no one sees her. And did I tell you this already?
I think so.
Oh,
I can't remember.
So Vi is wanting to have a face-to-face with Oga. And so while she's in the cantina, I think I read this right, but because I want to go back and double-check, but in the bathroom or the washroom...
Refresher? Did they say refresher?
Maybe, because it wasn't a bathroom.
In Star Wars, they call them refreshers. Which was really, I know you kind of do a side note of your side note. I know someone who's working in Batuu. One of Sarah's, my cousins.
Oh,
her family's a big Disney, family as well. She's been working at Disney for a little while now. She works at Batuu now, and I want to get her on the show. I want to try to get her on.
Wait, at Disney World?
Disney World.
Oh,
I'll have to tell you her name.
Yes,
you have to find her. I don't know who
her character
is, but I asked her on Facebook. Said, "So, quick nerdy question: are they called refreshers in Batuu?" And she said, "Yes, they are."
Okay,
so that's how accurate it is.
So perfect. So in the refresher in Oga's Cantina, there is a secret passage.
Oh man,
that opens up where she gets pulled in to go see Oga.
Yeah.
Does it exist?
You gotta be like looking around the bathroom.
Yeah.
Some guy's washing his hands, looking at you like, what the heck?
But
is
I
this
think
guy
it's
doing?
the women's. I don't know if there's a
That's
is
right.
it is it a
yeah.
is it a single? Is there different ones, or I don't know
Star
if it's
Wars
a.
does it.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays that's how it is in the real world. They're family bathrooms, pretty
Correct.
much.
So I think there's a secret passage in the refresher.
That's awesome.
Where it takes her down to this dungeon area where
Someone's
Oga's,
already got to try that.
I
gotta look on Reddit for that because that's
because they're mentioning Ronto wraps, and they're mentioning everything that's actually there, even the drinks that she's having, and I'm like, so there's got to be a secret passage where I can find Oga.
Why would they do that? Why would they build that? That's like you do everything so accurate. You gotta do this, even if it doesn't really go. I don't know. Oh my god,
that would be crazy, right?
That'd be so awesome.
So I got to tell my wife maybe like go into the women's bathroom and look around.
Look around here. It's funny in Crash Your Fate. They talk about the other areas of Batu and Black Spire. They talk about Ogas. They talk about Doc. One of the main characters. Works for Doc.
Yes.
But he's never around so far.
Right.
He says he goes to Hondo to Onaka Transports and has to give a payment to Onaka, or give something to Onaka, but we never see Onaka and they don't talk. Because I was hoping at this point in the book to see like, oh, we're going to see Onaka and maybe we'll get more information about the Falcon through there, which then I started thinking maybe it's not even the real Falcon. Maybe Hondo built and is trying to pass it off as the Falcon.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
That'd be kind of,
I think it. Yeah, I don't know.
That was a quick little Star Wars conspiracy for me. But yeah, I love that. I love that they're talking about the details and tip yips and I think moof juice. They're talking about that in the book as well. So it's pretty fun.
And I'm curious. I'm curious in Black Spire whether or not Hondo shows up. I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm about halfway through.
If he's not in Crush Your Fate or if he's not in Black Spire, they've got to do a comic series about his time there.
Yeah.
They got to explain that.
Yeah.
So that's a story coming up.
There is a comic. There is a 5-issue comic series of Galaxy's Edge that I'm going to read.
Oh, that's
probably
right.
on my way down. I just got them. I want to read that on my way down on the plane. So kind of refresh my memory about that. But I do want to quickly introduce a brand new segment for the show because we are on the book side of things.
So many new things in this show.
So many new things. God, I know. We're trying to get through it all. Our good friends over at the Living Force podcast have agreed to help us with book reviews because that's their kind of expertise. They're really focused on the expanding universe, the
canon.
The canon EU. They call it the expanding universe.
That's what it is.
It is.
Yeah. It's not. You just have to call the other expanding universe legends.
That's right.
So you could be clear about it.
Expanding universe is still canon.
Yeah.
So, but the legends stuff is non-canon.
Non-canon expanding universe.
There you go. So because Casey and I both take our time with the books, I guess
and they get the advanced copies
correct
of it as well. So.
Yeah. So I've actually been holding on to this for a couple of weeks because we haven't done a show. So, but now is a good time to introduce this segment. So the segment right now that we're about to play for you is a full review of Black Spire, the Delilah S. Dawson book. This is a spoiler review. Now, well, I got to say officially, I haven't even listened to this.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I'm in the middle of the book. I don't want to be spoiled. So Eric over at the Living Force podcast recorded for us his review. So we're going to play that right now. Check this out. This is the spoiler review of Black Spire. Check it out. We'll be right back.
What's up, everyone? My name is Eric Eilersen. I am from Utini.com and the Living Force podcast, and I'm here today to talk to you about the latest novel from Delilah Dawson, Galaxy's Edge, Black Spire. Now, if you are familiar with Delilah Dawson's earlier novel, Phasma, you are going to freaking love this book. Black Spire is essentially a spiritual sequel to Phasma because it features Vi Marathi, who is a resistance spy, star of Phasma. She's also the star of Black Spire, and it features Archex, or as you may know him from Phasma, Captain Cardinal. So basically, Leia decides after The Last Jedi, the resistance is decimated, and we need allies and a place to hide. So she sends Vi over to Batu to say, hey, go to Black Spire Outpost, figure out who's on our side, see if you can set up a base. And, here's the hitch, your new partner is Archex, who is Cardinal, who tortured you in Phasma. So, I mean, predictable hijinks ensue. They crash on the planet, they lose their gear, and Vi and Archex basically have to build a resistant cell from nothing. And we see this a lot through Vi's point of view as she is dealing with her PTSD from the torture she endured in Phasma. And to me, this was kind of like the highlight of the book. I think that Delilah Dawson did a great job of showing trauma and showing PTSD, which doesn't get a lot of play in Star Wars, really. We like to think that the battles are fine and the torture is part of the job, but it really kind of screws with people. And I think that was handled very well in this book for Vi, but also for Archex, because he has to deal with the fact that he was brainwashed as a child, and he still has some of that programming in him. And he kind of had all the people that he thought were his friends and allies turn their back on him when he got quote-unquote weak in Phasma, kind of took him to task. So we get to see him heal and kind of become this new man. We get to see Vi heal and become this leader. And there's all these other cool characters that are thrown in. Pook is a droid that is one of my new favorite droids, possibly the best one since K2SO and Rogue One. And there's a Shadra fan mechanic who I really love. We also get a little bit more of Oga Gera. Plays a huge part in this book. If you don't know who Oga Gera is, she is the gang leader essentially on Batuu. She features heavily in the park at Galaxy's Edge, and we get to meet her as she kind of hires Vi for some jobs to make back some credits to get some of her gear back. Now all of this is happening, and Vi essentially has to convince the regular people of Batuu that they should care about the First Order, right? Because the people are saying, I don't see the First Order every day, they don't really have a huge presence, I'm fine, I'm going to turn the other way. Which I think is a great point about the current world, right? If suffering isn't affecting you directly, then how is it happening? Why should I care? And I think this book does a great job encouraging empathy and encouraging understanding for people that are going through things that even though they may not directly affect you, you know they will eventually affect you, and you should actually just help people anyway. Let's see. For fans of the Star Wars EU, there's a lot of stuff to love here. There's a lot of cool Easter eggs, especially if you read Galaxy's Edge, A Crash of Fate by Zoraida Cordova that came out 2 weeks or so before this book. There's a lot of interplay between those books, a lot of characters like Salju, who is another mechanic that shows up. We get to see a little bit of Savi, who people might know from Galaxy's Edge because he builds the lightsabers for you when you go there. He features heavily in this book. And ultimately, it's just a blast. Admittedly, it starts a bit slow. I think the first few chapters are a little bit exposition heavy. It takes you a little bit to get into the rhythm of the book, but once Vi and Archex make their way to Batuu and to Black Spire Outpost, you're kind of going to fall in love with it. I think it would have been very easy for Delilah Dawson to just make this an advertisement for the park. It is not. So don't be afraid. This is not just a Disney come to our theme park book. It's a good story about people trying to serve a cause while also taking care of themselves and evolving past trauma, past pain, in order to help their friends. And I think that is very, very Star Wars. So if you want, head over to utini.com. I wrote a full review of Black Spire. It's on our site. It's going to have a few spoilers in it. So if you want a little bit of a deeper dive, head on over there to get my full thoughts. And thank you to Inside the Force for having me on. And I hope to be back soon with more book reviews. See ya.
Okay, everybody, that was our...
That was the best book review ever. That was amazing.
That was amazing.
Congratulations, Eric.
Good job, Eric. Thanks for doing that. We'll be doing that, every once in a while whenever a new book comes out. The next one I'm going to have done definitely is Resistance Reborn, that the novel that drops. When I have the November 5th. Mm-hmm. That book comes out November 5th. That is going to be the adult novel lead into The Rise of Skywalker. So,
highly anticipated. That book. Very exciting.
Yeah, that's again November. What else? What else am I doing in November?
Jam packed. Yeah.
So, keeping on the books real fast. The Art of Jedi Fallen Order. That's coming out November 20, which looked incredible. That's a book coming out. The comic series, in the comics, I'm actually been going back and reading some of the comics over the last couple of weeks. I read, got caught up a little bit on some of those Age of Resistance books. I read the Snoke book.
I need to read those.
Yeah. Which kind of takes Kylo to Dagobah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big
Right.
controversy right now. I mean, it's okay. It's not.
It's okay, guys.
I mean, there's nothing kind of like super revealing or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's not the.
Yoda's gone. He's
yeah.
not there.
It's
They don't
it's
fight
cool
Yoda.
because they can sense Skywalker was there,
Yeah.
and it kind of get a background of Snoke, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the thing too. Is like what it did to me in a way. What it did affirm to me was that, I mean, they're not saying it, but they're Sith. I mean, he's training
Yeah.
him like an apprentice. I mean, he
don't-
keeps calling him apprentice, and it's like,
I mean, I guess Rise of Skywalker may explain it. But I don't know why we're dancing around the term.
yeah.
It's-
I mean, they're Sith. I mean, it's there's two of them. It's
Yeah.
like it's master and apprentice. They were trying to take over the galaxy. So it's anyway. Let's see the Star Wars comic series right now is coming to a close. I think with issue 75, and they revealed there's actually a one-shot book coming out right after that, where they released the cover reveals for that. It's so it looks like what they decided was this Star Wars series right now is basically filling the full gap between
Yeah.
A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. I'm about halfway through. I haven't been caught up each week with it or each month with it, but I am going to read and finish it, but just so I know those events. But yeah, that's coming to a close. I'm anticipating that that we're going to get another Star Wars series, and I feel like it's going to be either. I'm starting to feel like it's either they're going to just like skip Empire Strikes Back and maybe do the year between Empire and Return, or actually start after Return of the Jedi and start filling in those gaps.
That would be smart.
That big gap between that and
That would be pretty smart.
Force Awakens.
Like Rather Shattered Empire almost. Or
Yeah.
even up until Jakku with those characters.
Correct. Oh yeah.
You had 2
Totally.
years there.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, so there will be, I think, another Star Wars series that's coming. Couple of the things from Resistance. They actually won the Saturn Award for Best Animated Series.
Yes.
Yeah, so congrats to that team. The final season, the second and final season, starts October. There was, you can go online and look. There is the first 4 episodes have been the titles have been released and the descriptions and stuff like that. So you can go check those out. But that starts in October. I think it's, I had the date, but I didn't write. I just wrote October down. I think it's the first week. I think it's the first weekend of October. I think October 6th is when it premieres.
Yeah, it was always a weird time.
Yeah, Sundays again at 10 o'clock. I think is still kind of late on Disney Channel.
I think didn't they usually put them out? Maybe I'm thinking of Rebels, but
A little earlier.
earlier on the app.
I think they do. Yeah, I think they
Maybe.
are dropping those a little earlier. Still, so again, final season of Resistance. Curious, timeline wise, how that actually is going to line up with the Rise of Skywalker, because I'm assuming Rise of Skywalker is going to come out, and then there's still going to be some episodes left. First of the year. Okay, so that's really kind of the big. That's the big news getting caught up and stuff that's come out. I'm a couple other things we'll just talk about real quick. So I'm going to Disney next week.
I know.
So we probably obviously won't do a show till I get back, but
You have to do some Insta stories.
yeah, I will be doing a lot of video, and I will be doing some social media down there, of course. So
Live stream some stuff.
yeah. A guy, one of the guys that we work with is like, you better live stream walking into that place. I just don't know how to totally. I just don't know what to expect yet, because I do have a couple reservations. I have a reservation for Savi's Workshop, so I will be building a lightsaber. I do have a reservation for Droid Depot. I actually didn't get. I could have, but I actually didn't. And I look back like I don't know why I didn't get the reservation, even though I could have, for Oga's Cantina, because Oga's Cantina is not really a. It's not really a restaurant.
Do you
It's
walk
like
up and get a drink at least?
Well, that's the thing, is I think you can eventually, but right now I think you could only get in with a reservation.
Gotcha.
So, but I'll see. I'm going to do the early magic hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Like 6 o'clock in the morning for some of it. So I should be able to go into a lot of places.
I mean, from what I'm reading, even today, attendance is down.
Yes.
Prices are going up. It's kind of unfortunate what's happening right now in Disney World. Maybe it's just Disneyland or both parks. But what's the quick service? Is that Ronto's Roasters? Is that quick service?
That's a quick service, yeah. And then they have...
because you can
they
just
have
go
some.
up there and
They have some
get a
side
wrap.
quick. Yeah, exactly. No, totally. I think we're definitely going to
And
go
the
try some stuff.
Popcorn place.
Yes.
Which one's that?
I can't remember what that's called either, but I'll do all that. Yeah. I do think. Look, I want it to be open to but I do think they made a mistake by not having the other ride finished.
Yeah. That's January
Rise of Resistance.
in Disney World.
January. No, December in Disney World. January in Disneyland.
Okay.
So Disney World's actually getting it first,
Right.
Because I think that is they're describing it as kind of a next generation experience ride, where there's live action going on as well as riding in something. It's like it's just a lot going on in that ride, and they're saying that it's just incredible. But I mean, if you would have had that when the park opened, I think you would have saw a lot more.
Yeah.
Because right now, technically, the only ride is the Falcon. Like that's the only ride.
Yeah.
Everything else.
You should experience
It's
it.
experience it, and
Which is enough
granted,
for me.
yeah, I know, but you got to think about how many. What's the ratio of people going to Disneyland and now Hollywood Studios? It's like, what's the ratio of people that are diehard Star Wars fans? 'Cause I think you really have to be a diehard Star Wars fan, truly, to really get into the whole area.
But see, that's
You
the
know what I'm
thing
saying?
I keep hearing, though, is a pitfall might very well be that it's a new place. Because in order to fully appreciate Batuu,
I
you
see what you're
have to
saying.
know the context of Batuu.
That's
And
true.
that's not ingrained in Star Wars. Like if they had done Tatooine or any of the other known planets, or even if they did 4 planets in one park, you already have so many kids that want to go and parents that want to go because they know those planets. I mean, yeah, the diehard fans will go no matter what because it's Star Wars and they've probably already read the books and comics about Batuu. But I mean, you'll get a percentage of them that are just Star Wars fans and they haven't read anything, but they know it's Star Wars, so they want to go see the Falcon and see Rey because they have the characters there. So it's But I mean, it might hurt them.
Part of me appreciates that they created a new
canon,
a new canon location
That's like-
to expand the story, right?
and they're making it live and breathe current canon. So you're not going to see Anakin Skywalker, Grievous, Vader, Kylo, Luke, all these characters in one place.
That's right.
No.
Yeah, so it's
Unfortunately.
they're acting as if you are visiting that planet,
Yeah.
and you are walking into that area. All the cast members, like you mentioned, they're characters on Batuu. They're not Disney employees. So I love that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But you're right. Could you have created, Mos Eisley?
I mean,
And did Mos Eisley, where people were familiar with the cantina, and you could have done a droid depot there. You could have,
Sure.
the Falcon could have
New
still
restaurants.
been parking there. You could have introduced a restaurant that you didn't previously know. People would have been familiar with that location.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that attendance would have still skyrocketed, but you could have gotten a lot of nostalgic out of that, and some Star Wars fans that truly, aren't diehard like us, but that know, oh yeah, I know that. I know about the
It's very
cantina.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah.
Had the modal nodes playing in there still,
Oh, my God. Hey,
whatever.
You could have done that, like really good, like Hondo-esque animatronics. That the modal nodes, moving around there. Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can ever. I just don't know if you can ever do that now. Now that you've introduced this park, I think you have to expand Batuu.
Yeah.
Now, I will say I'm under the impression that once the Rise of Skywalker is released, I kind of have a feeling that they're going to change the timeline of Batuu in certain different
Yeah. Yeah, they
You know what I
mentioned
mean?
a little bit of that. I guess almost as if, right now the era of the books and comics is Batu in this era of Star Wars. And then whatever happens next, it's like they're going to transition Batu to reflect that era of Star Wars.
That's what I think so too. I think that they will do that. Like,
That makes
for
sense.
example, they could shift the era to the Clone Wars era.
That would be awesome.
And then all of a sudden you've got Thrawn.
Yes.
You've got young Anakin.
Yes.
You got
Absolutely.
Padme walking around. So
That
you've
would be so cool. Yeah.
and I think we're gonna get introduced. I mean, actually, the comics, I know for a fact because I started reading the first one. It takes place before New Hope, and Han and Chewie are there.
Oh, sweet.
So you can do another era where you can introduce those characters. So I think that's what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna roll out different eras, and that's where it's gonna showcase. Now the problem is that the Rise of Resistance ride, I don't know. You have to change that if you're changing the era, I guess.
That's
right?
pretty interesting though too. If
You know
they
what I
do
mean?
That it's like you run that show. It's like a play, I guess. You run that show for months or a year. Then
and then
suddenly
change it up.
brand new show.
Yeah, because you could
Jeez.
do a different battle
Yeah.
or something. So anyway, I'm going to document as much as I can. I'll share that when I get back. I'll share it on social. It's going to be it's going to be fun. I don't know what else to say. It's going to be I'm stoked. Savvy's workshop is where I can't wait to build my. I mean, I can't imagine right now because I have a time frame, and I'm like, I don't know if I can get it done in that time. Like, how am I
Are you
going
gonna
to
decide?
I'm going to decide.
Sir, please. There's kids behind in line waiting. You gotta pick it. You gotta pick something.
I mean, and of course, my girls are going to be there, and they're going to probably want to make it for me. And I'm like, no, I want to make my own.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that.
It's not me.
Yeah.
It's not calling me.
Of course, my youngest daughter, who's 5, is like, well, I want to make my own lightsaber. I'm like,
Yeah.
these things are $200.
Yeah.
I'm not. This is my turn first.
$1,000 expense if the whole family gets it. It's
No, not right now. We'll do mine first next year. We can do yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
So anyway, keep a lookout for that next week. I do want to mention real quick too, and I don't know if I've been able to fill you in on this too much, Casey, but look for. I want to just plug a little bit. Look for a brand new podcast coming out. It's called the Mandalorian podcast, and a gentleman reached out to us. I've been kind of communicating with him a little bit. He is anyway. He's done podcasting before. He's pretty known to the podcasting world. He's got a lot of stuff for DC right now. He's got an Arrow podcast show that he does. He does stuff for a show for Legends of Tomorrow, which is another DC show. And another one he does personally, but then he's actually starting this one. It's called the Mandalorian podcast, so he'll be introducing that. We're going to help plug it and stuff like that. Talked about actually going on the show possibly and stuff like that too. So, but the Mandalorian podcast, look for that. There's a Facebook group that he's wanting to get some people on, so you can look for that on Facebook and start that conversation. But we will talk more about that as we get through October and November, because basically it's going to be it's going to start, I think, when Disney Plus starts and start reviewing the episodes and stuff like that. Of course, we'll be talking about a lot of that stuff here as well. But good guy, look for that Mandalorian podcast. Of course, go to our Facebook group. People are joining that. Love that. Love the conversations. Again, I'm going to be posting a ton of my Batu experience on there next week as we go on. So, what else we got? Is that?
Didn't know if you wanted to talk about Alphabet Squadron.
Oh,
Quickly?
Alphabet Squad. Yeah, because you went through Alphabet
I
Squadron.
did it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, what did you
Took a
think?
while. Man, it's a long book. Man,
Yes,
I don't know
it
if
is.
I heard it because I listened to it when I drove all the way down to Florida and back. So it took me the whole down and back up to get through the book. And normally I do double speed, but I did it normal speed this time, and it just
Yeah, wow.
took a while. And I had to take some breaks and listen to some other things. And I mean, I've had to start this one over too once or twice, just because I felt like I was always distracted. But that didn't help me focus. I was driving, so I was a little more focused. But still, it's like I honestly couldn't really get invested in this book. And, I mean, I don't know if that means that this type of book isn't just my cup of tea as Star Wars, because it's a battle, it's a war book, it's a battle, all dogfights. There's no Jedi, there's a lot of talk of the Force, or some talk of the Force, but no Jedi, a lot of Empire, a lot of New Republic type of stuff. So it's it has it's a very specific type of story of a cast of characters that about the squadron that unite and have the specific mission. So if that's your kind of story, then you might like it. For some reason, it just didn't click with me. I haven't really thought too much about it. Why? I think maybe it's just the characters and their arcs didn't quite resonate, because I don't really feel like they had much of an arc, each of these characters. The main one, Erica Quell, she was cool. I think she had an arc, but it was kind of a small arc, and it kind of ended early. So there's so much. Maybe it's just a slow burn, because this is supposed to be a trilogy, so this is like the first part of a 3-arc trilogy. But still, it's like this should stand alone in itself by its character arcs and its story arc. But to me, it didn't really have much of one. So nothing really hit well, unfortunately. And I mean, not to say it's a bad book, because I guess it's just not my type of Star Wars, unfortunately. It's still adventurous, thrilling book. There's a lot of action.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think and you mentioned this too before, I think the Hera parts were really good.
I love the Hera parts. I
wish she was actually in it a lot more.
I loved her parts. I loved all the moments between, and I don't know if this kind of feels ironic or just strange to me, but all the scenes with Erica and the ITO droid, the interrogation probe droid. I love those. As a character, that ITO, I think, is what Aiden called it. But those scenes are great. I love those scenes.
Yeah.
But all the other characters, like Will Lark had a lot going for him, but didn't really. I mean,
I feel like the ending. I feel like the ending just kind of. I don't know. It's like I don't feel like it built up too well, and it kind of it's a little bit of a letdown.
It was a little anticlimactic.
Yes,
there was a grand scale event that happened at the end with what was that place called? The station.
Yeah,
but anyways,
it was a while since I read
Shadow Wing. They confront them at the end at this planet and this installation. Tabana gas. They're trying to save this planet, but some crazy action happens, and it doesn't really end like I think Shadow Wing kind of escapes because again there's 3 books, so I guess this is the prolonged villain. But yeah, anticlimactic. They had a reveal of what the next villain's going to be with Shadow Wing, and didn't really shock me. Didn't really like shock and awe or anything like that. But I tell you, honestly, the big thing for me, I feel like they were trying to solve this mystery of what Operation Cinder is. But to me, there's no mystery about it. There wasn't a mystery going into it, and there's not a mystery coming out of it. Like we didn't learn anything new about it. It almost solidified what we already knew.
Yeah, agreed.
Because through Battlefront 2, Aftermath, Shattered Empire, all these little things I've kind of referenced it. And Battlefront 2 obviously had the biggest.
That was the main
thing about it.
Operation.
But we knew it's basically Palpatine's
final
self-destruct plan. It's like, all right, Empire's done. We got to destroy all the loyal planets. If I can't rule, no one's going to rule.
Yeah, exactly.
So destroy all my loyal planets and then just leave. Go. Get out of here kind of thing. And that's what Gallius Rax wanted at the very, very end of it. That's what he, after Jakku was destroyed or tried to be destroyed, it's like Gallius Rax told Sloane, take Empire, go, rebuild out, in the regions. So, I mean, that was Emperor's plan, is to just destroy everything.
And forgive me if I didn't remember, but was Operation Cinder in Aftermath?
I'm pretty sure they mentioned it.
They did mention it?
I think because Jakku was with the culmination of it.
Yes.
Like it's like all these planets are being destroyed, and as they're being destroyed, all the rest of the Armada and all their troops and the rest of the Empire are collaborating at Jakku for the last big thing. And then Jakku was supposed to also get destroyed, but it didn't. So,
yeah.
We learn more about Cinder, about the different planets that were tried to be destroyed and all that stuff. But, that was a big question. Like, Erica Quell was trying to figure out, she couldn't wrestle with why Operation Cinder happened, and neither could Shadowwing, honestly.
Yeah.
And I like that. I did like all the villain parts, all the Shadowwing moments.
I did like that.
They, to me, were the best rounded, the most rounded characters, because they were villains, and yet they were definitely conflicted with their mission. I feel like at least maybe more so from the point of view of the captain. I think they nicknamed her grandmother. I couldn't think of her real name, but she kept looking at the Sentinel and questioning, like, why are you here? Why did we just do this? Why are we destroying the Empire essentially? And she never got her answer. And that's tragic to me now. And that definitely resonated with me. So, but it's like, oh no, it's just it was just a self-destruction plan.
Emperor Sentinel, because in the question now with him coming back, that whole thing is strange. And all the, what we learned in Aftermath too was, he had these secret locations that had all these artifacts in it. And, both in Aftermath, we know that there's one in Jakku. We know that Luke tracked one down in Battlefront. So there's like, I don't know. There's just a lot there still that we don't know about the Emperor.
Absolutely,
and the fact that he's coming back, it's like how much of that is relevant anymore? The whole Sentinel thing and stuff like that. So, because the Sentinel thing is kind of like, you can kind of think of that as like, I guess. But I don't know, it's like, it's a program, or did he download his conscious in there? And it's like, it's actually him. I don't think it is, but so it's like,
no, it's just it's artificial intelligence. Essentially.
Yeah,
it's just
that looks like him. He's carrying out his orders in a sense, because like in Battlefront, Versio, Commander Versio, or whatever her father, Admiral Versio or something. But I mean, he's acting as if that's the Emperor standing there.
Yeah,
and he's carrying out those orders. And like, she couldn't even question, Iden couldn't question the Emperor, because it's the Emperor, even though he's dead.
Yeah.
They think he's dead anyway. So
yeah, no, that was a big thing for me, and now I'm just not remembering too. Another big thing, honestly, about Erica Quell was her whole backstory, her whole push. It's like
she was part of the Empire.
I like the first part of the book. I like Trader's Remorse, that whole scene and all those moments. But like, I honestly didn't quite buy her her foundation as a character in terms of she defected, but kind of ironically defected. It's like
it's almost as if she didn't have a choice.
But the way it's like the way she kept describing was, she apparently supposedly wanted to join the rebellion, but didn't, and instead joined the academy.
Oh,
and then once she was in the academy, she's like, that's not so bad. I'll stick around.
Yeah.
And then later on, she was convinced to leave. And I guess that's kind of, spoilers, of course. But one of the reveals is that at the beginning of the book, she's found. Her ship was crashed and she was found. But the reveal is that was staged to convince the Empire that she was captured, when in reality, she staged her crash so she could defect.
Yes.
That was fine. I didn't mind that. But everything leading up to that, I'm like, I don't really buy her story. I don't really care about, I don't believe her. I don't think she's worthy of being the hero just because she's like, she kind of fell into this.
Yeah.
Being part of the Alphabet Squadron. She really fought for it too hard.
Yeah, you're right.
So.
Yeah, not like Iden versus.
Exactly. That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she realized that she was on the wrong side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, for the longest part of the book, it was Iden, or Erica Quell was, it's just like, well, I guess I'm here, so I'm going to fight for the New Republic now.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I did like that part of the book, which was the first part too, about how she talked about like new officers from the Empire that were coming in.
Yeah.
And they have to be basically monitored because they don't know whether or not they're truly defecting.
Yeah.
Or are they spies? You know, like there's like a big quarantine that's going on basically of these Empire soldiers.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things that it happened a few times where there were fake defectors and they tried to commit suicide. They blew themselves up basically in this installation.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy to think about that. Yeah. And just so if anybody's not familiar, this takes place between the Battle of Endor and the Battle of Jakku, which is not necessarily, I guess it's kind of, you could kind of figure out, not really exact time, but it is during Operation Cinder or just after Operation Cinder. So,
yeah.
It's, again, it is a long book. So
yeah, it took a long time to get the team together, and even when they were together, I didn't feel like they were much of a team. I mean, I feel like I'm hating on this so much, but
a little bit.
It's,
but I'm with you.
It's not my favorite book.
It took me a long time to get through it.
I think it just kind of is a testimony to what my type of Star Wars stories are. Because like Twilight Company, I enjoyed. I wasn't 100% into it. I mean, ironically enough, that was Alexander Freed. I liked Twilight Company better. I think I like those characters better.
Yes.
They were more rounded to me. But these characters are a little flat. But if you like war, if you like battles, this is totally for you.
This is all.
I love
exactly.
it. And that was a great audiobook. Like in that sense, it was, the action was great.
So go check out Alphabet Squadron if you want.
Well, what's that companion? The comic book.
TIE Fighter. TIE Fighter.
Yeah,
it's called TIE Fighter.
I would love to read that.
Yeah, I started reading the first issue, but I didn't keep going. I do have to finish that because it is more. It's on it's the Shadow Wing side basically mainly.
And look, I'll read the rest of the books because it's very much like Aftermath, where the first book was like, I don't know about these characters, I don't know about where this is going, but I mean, I loved the rest of Aftermath's trilogy.
100% agree. 100% And
so,
in fact, I want to go back and do.
I would love to.
Again,
so it's just that's the way trilogies are. You just gotta kind of hold your breath a little bit, and stick with it.
That's right. Okay, so that is our show. I hope that kind of satisfies you for the next week or two because, again, follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook because I'll be posting some stuff next week. Throughout, I'll probably text you first so you can see stuff first. But we'll be back in a couple weeks to talk more about Bat 2, my experience there, as well as whatever comes out. Of course, the anticipation of the new trailer coming and the pre-order of the Rise of Skywalker tickets. I'm looking at the countdown now. We're 85 days from the Rise of Skywalker. We're 48 days from The Mandalorian.
Oh, my gosh.
So
that's awesome.
It's slowly coming up, but we will get there. Thanks, everybody, for checking us out. Of course, we have our Facebook group. Like I said, go to facebook.com/InsideTheForest. Actually, that's our Facebook page, but you can get to our group page. I can't remember what our group page is. Of course, this podcast is also on YouTube. If you want to go watch us talk about Star Wars stuff inside the Force, so we're on there as well. Go hit the subscribe button for us. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And like I said, we will be back in a couple weeks. I am heading to Batu.
Whew. Bright suns to you.
Yes. Bright suns. Nice. All right. Appreciate it, everybody. Take care. He's Casey.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm Dave. May the Force